Introducing Perceptor. From a working microscope, he transforms into a robot.
Hey, I'm Zach Hoffman, the voice of Zartan. Welcome to the Super Awesome Geek Show. Woohoo!
Hey, guys. Welcome back to the Super Awesome Geek Show. I'm John, and today we're going to be talking about Transformers. We have Perceptor. Yes. I love the Generation 1 Transformers. I grew up with the cartoon. I loved all of the comic books. I remember tracing and copying over those comic books to learn how to draw Transformers when I was a kid, and I destroyed so many comics by tracing over it to learn how to draw them. It was amazing. It was so much fun. Loved the cartoons, loved the comics, loved the toys, and Perceptor was always one of the favorites because this guy turned into a microscope. And now Perceptor is finally back in the collection. So let's take a look, and I'll give you some lesser known facts that maybe you don't know about Perceptor. So let's get into it. All right, guys, here we go. Here is Perceptor as he appeared in the United States. And I say that because there's some differences between the US version and the Japanese version. So if you look at the back of the figure, this is what prompted me to check out what's going on with Perceptor. On the right side is Hasbro, on the left is Takara, and on the Takara stamp, you see 1974 and 1984. And on the Hasbro side, you only see 1984. But it implied that there was a 1974 version. And sure enough, in Japan, under the company Takara, they released a black version of Perceptor that was just called Microman Micro Change Microscope Robot. And this black version that I'm showing here with the packaging and then what's inside was essentially the same Perceptor that we later got here in the United States in red under the Hasbro Transformers line, and he became an Autobot scientist. Pretty cool, right? How many of you guys knew that? Did you know that Transformers in Japan were first done in the 70s under the Machine Robo or Machine Man or Microman, Diaclone? There were various different lines in Japan that Takara did with these robots before they came out here in the United States. Pretty interesting. Let's throw Perceptor in robot mode up on the roundabout so you get a good look at him from every side. I'm really glad that Perceptor's back in the collection. I loved him as a kid, especially in Robot Phone. This guy was great. But before we get more into Perceptor, let's take a look at a snippet from our documentary that we made where we talked with some of the fans about Perceptor. Check this out. Where the Decepticons may have a mad scientist, the Autobots have a peaceful counterpart in Perceptor.
I love Perceptor.
Perceptor was one of those guys that I kind of liked, but because I was a science nerd.
In the 80s, there was almost every kid had that little red microscope. And then Perceptor was kind of like the robot transformer version of that.
I'd probably take him into school to do my science project. Look at some algae or something.
You'll extract no information from us, Megatron. I promise you.
And I did have one of those little red telescopes, so I always wanted the robot to go alongside him. I love that guy.
If you want to see more of that, you can check out the link in the description below. And here's Perceptor's accessories. He came with a blaster rifle and a rocket launcher with 2 rockets. So we'll take a look at the blaster rifle first. So if you ever see this red rifle out in the wild, you know that this belongs to Perceptor. So keep it and see if anyone's missing their weapon. And then we have the rocket launcher kind of thing. This also goes in his hand. Oh, mine is a little bit dirty. Yeah, it looks like we can get that off. So we'll be able to clean this up pretty nice. I basically just got this in, so we're sort of taking a look at it together. And he came with 3 missiles, but I only have 2 of them. So I'm missing 1 missile to make this complete. But that's not a big deal, because when you put this on display, you're really only going to have 1 missile in it anyways. Slides in like that. Pretty cool. Yeah. There we go. I like it. It's a neat little weapon. But you put the blaster rifle in one hand and this launcher in the other. The other thing we got with this was the instruction booklet, which is always nice to have. And it shows everything that came with him and how to transform him. So he's got microscope mode, all his accessories, and then how to transform him. Pretty cool. And it just gate folds out. This thing goes on forever and ever. Gate folding out. Shows you where to put the weapons, that you can remove some of the knobs for the microscope. And also, you might not know this, but he was a triple changer. We'll show you that in a few minutes when we can turn him into cannon mode once we get into transforming him. Yeah, this guy was technically a triple changer. And speaking of triple changers and stuff like that with Perceptor, let's take a look at the original commercial.
And as the battle between the Autobots and the Decepticons rages on, Megatron creates Triple Changers, the most evil Decepticons of all. But the Autobot scientist Perceptor is ready for anything. Introducing Perceptor. From a working microscope, he transforms into a robot. And Triple Changer Blitzwing transforms from tank to plane, and from plane to robot.
I know what I want. Triple Changer! Autobots will stop them!
Each sold separately from Hasbro, while supplies last.
So it's pretty interesting that they actually put him in the commercial with the triple changers, but they didn't necessarily call Perceptor a triple changer. All right, let's get into transforming him. So the first thing you're going to do is push this head down. Now he's got a little roller lever back here to roll his head up and down. You can do that, or you can just push on it. It's that little gear there, or you can just push on it and pop it down. And then you want to lift up. Be very, very careful with this, but you want to lift this up and put it in the air. You got to be very careful. That can easily break, so be very, very careful with the microscope part. And then you're going to lift up these shoulder pads, and we're going to spin the arms around. If they slide in a little, make sure you pull them out. But slide them around and then push them in. Push them in. So let me show you that from a different angle here. If you want to, you can, push them in like that. Get that all centered. And then the fists, just pop them in, push them right in so they're out of the way. And there you go. Now we're going to twist the legs. So these legs are going to go up at the hip. So they do a split. And then you want to bend it so the legs can fold out in front of it. So one twist, and then two twist, and then you can bend the legs in front. And then what you need to do is put it so the treads are down, so the wheels are down, and you can pop out these things for extra stability. Close that down. And you can see that this is how he's going to stay stable for the microscope mode. So twist those legs around, bend that over, flip it, and pull this blue part out a little bit to give it more stability. And you're good to go. Make sure it's level, just kind of level them out. And then this thing can go down. And what's interesting about this is this knob here, it can make the microscope go in and out for focusing. So let me try to show you this without getting my hands in the way here. But you can see it moving in, that little part there, and then it moves back out. And that's how you focus the microscope, because this was actually a real working microscope. And this little part comes down and is kind of like your mirror for the light. And then you had this, you could adjust it for light. And then you had this clear tray that went down. And you could actually set a microscope slide in there. and take a look at it. Now, some people bend these down, but it doesn't matter, I guess, which way you put it. You can leave them down or you can put them up. I think the original instructions tell you to leave them up, but I have seen people who put those down for whatever reason, so you can do it either way, I guess. I think up might give you more stability, but down kind of looks better. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Arms up or arms down? Yeah. All right, we'll get my hands out of the way and show some shots of Perceptor here in microscope mode. Pretty cool, right? Just reminds you of that little red microscope that we all had in school, just like Jason said in that documentary. Pretty cool. All right, let's put Perceptor up on the roundabout so you guys can get a good look at him from every angle while he's in microscope mode. The Autobot scientist, Perceptor. Was he on par? Did he match his wit and knowledge to that of Shockwave, the Decepticon scientist? Or what? Who do you think was better, Shockwave or Perceptor? So you might have noticed this wheel down here, and that's because there's a third mode. If you fold him down like this and let the 3 wheels hit the ground, he's now a cannon. Yeah. And supposedly that part in the back made like a seat, and if you had a Micro Man, you could sit him down behind the cannon and he would fire the cannon because that became his seat. So, yeah, what do you think of that? He actually is a triple changer. There's the proof. All right, guys, this is it. Perceptor. Let me know in the comments what you think of him. And speaking of comments, one of the last videos was G.I. Joe Goes Wild, where we looked at Wild Weasel. And Matt Strum 5348 said, Wild Weasel sounds like a fruit punch drink. Yeah, I had him back in the day. The packaging and box art was definitely a big part of G.I. Joe's selling point. For me, it was just okay, but not as fun as He-Man. The hedgehog helmet of Wild Weasel made for a charming hodgepodge pilot. Well, thanks a lot, Matt Strum. Appreciate you leaving a comment. And if you guys want to see your comment highlighted in a future video, just leave a comment below this video, and maybe you will get picked for next time. All right, guys, thanks a lot for watching. Let me know what you think of Perceptor in the comments below. And we will talk to you guys later, all right? Stay awesome out there, everybody. See ya. Hey, guys. Do you need a new cuddly friend in your life? Well, head on over to the Super Awesome Geek Show spread shop, link in the description below, and get yourself a new furry friend. These stuffed toys can be yours right now. Head on over. The Super Awesome Geek Show is part of the Super Awesome Geek Show network. Please check the description below and subscribe to the channels that interest you.
I am John, Wookiee impersonator and Aladrin warlock with the Warriors of the Stars. Along came Jason, my bearded friend. Fabulous secret ideas revealed to me the day he came to my house and said, I want to make a podcast! Only 2 others share this secret.
I am Chris Visions. I like walks on the beach, sunsets, poodles.
What's up, everybody? Morphin' time.
Hi, I'm Rick Remender.
Rob, the artist.
Hey, everybody. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm Mr. Sabella.
Hi, this is Ashley Eckstein, voice of Ahsoka Tano.
Robbie Amell.
What's up, guys?
Today I have special guest Mike Sellinger.
You do indeed.
Working on Black Science.
Bob McLeod, creator of the New Mutants. I've been working for Marvel and DC Comics for the last 40 years.
Brian Herbert.
About a year ago, I've got a Twitter site. I couldn't get my own name. Somebody took my name.
And we have special guest Gus Lopez.
Oh, hey guys, I'm thrilled to be on.
Robin Hobb is here.
Working on a trilogy called The Fitz and the Fool.
Livio Raimondelli.
Appreciate it. I'm a big Transformers fan, G1 fan myself.
Together, we started talking about toys, comics, games, and movies on the Super Awesome Geek Show!